Hello, friends. This is Coach Wojtek Starakiewicz, and welcome to Wojtek's Corner. This is a mid-September episode. I am standing in this beautiful weather outside at our parking lot under the sign of ROGace, the world headquarters. For those who don't know, this is the only club, but this is very special to me because it is the intention of growing the movement, growing the program to have a significant impact on your families and your children. I don't really care if it's going to end up being a worldwide thing, but it puts, the good pressure. As great Billie Jean King says, the pressure is a privilege, right? So it's putting the right pressure on me to continue trying to develop a beautiful, impactful program that can change life of you and your children. So, real quick on what has been happening, we have 2 blog posts on the website. The first one you can check out. It was about the journey over the last 6 months, changing the website, reinvigorating our values, our purpose, and the direction we're heading. I'm very excited about that. The second post was an incredible conversation with my former coach, Michiel Schappers, a Dutchman who has impacted me very deeply. When I was between age 16 and 18, I would spend half of my time in Holland, half of my time in Poland. I was trying to become a professional tennis player. I was very dedicated, and because of how much time we spent, he formed a lot of my tennis technique, but also my tennis thoughts and my tennis development. So we were able to spend some time together with my wife. Many years later, now it's been over 20 years that we know each other, and he continues being a great friend and a mentor, living in Vienna, opened his house for us to visit, talk, spend time with him. And a lot of our conversations have been great conversations about tennis, which we captured a lot of super interesting thoughts in this blog post and a conversation. So take your time, check it out. I also want to highlight this month, since it's a mid-September episode, we just finished US Open, and there are 2 interesting storylines, or many other interesting storylines, but I just want to highlight 2 that highlight one of our main core values, which is resilience. Again, as a reminder, the things we're really focusing on developing children is joy, excellence, resilience, and gratitude, and here going to resilience. So the number 1 story is about an American player, female named Amanda Anisimova, and an incredible story, right? So she was just in the US Open in the 2nd final in a row of a Grand Slam. She lost in the final of Wimbledon, which was played between June and the end of June, beginning of July, and now US Open. Now, and you might think to yourself, okay, she's in a really good shape, right? She's doing really well, really good form, as we call it, and obviously she's going to be in back-to-back finals. Well, if you don't know what happened in Wimbledon, let me fill you in. She lost in her first Grand Slam final ever, 6-love, 6-love. The worst possible score in tennis on one of the oldest, biggest stages in tennis, and she was, the nerves just got the better of her, right? Just completely dominated her, and she was not able to win even one game. To just tell you how big of a thing this is, the last time it happened was when Steffi Graf in 1988 won 6-love, 6-love against somebody at French Open. And the last time it happened in Wimbledon was like 1914 or something, like 100 years ago, 100 more years ago, right? So it really does not happen. And remember, when you have such a big event, it's a final, it's not just that you can play a match and then leave and hide and disappear. No, she needed to play that match. She was hurting inside so badly, I can only imagine it, how she felt. Then you have a ceremony, right? You gotta walk around, wave to everybody, you have interviews, you have all this commitment, and she was very gracious, kept her composure, and did her best. Now, looking at her, I thought to myself, man, I don't know if she's going to be able to recover from that, right? And probably I was just using my my fortitude, and I was like, I don't know if I could recover from that. Like, yes, of course, she got the over 1 million, 1.5 million or whatever dollars check, and yes, it's an incredible achievement. But remember, like in any high level, the passion is what drives us. Not like the money can drive you only that far. The passion is what drives you. And trust me, many tennis players, and I hope some of your children will imagine themselves thousands of times at this event, at the Grand Slam, at the final, winning the final, losing in the final. And I can promise you, I can be 100% sure not one person has ever imagined losing 6-0, 6-0 in the final, right? So you go, all right, this is going to be really, really hard for her. And instead, she found a way. She showed the true resilience. I mean, kudos to you, Amanda. This is absolutely incredible. And she brought back the intensity. 2 weeks later, she already did so well in the tournaments in Canada. And again, she got to the final of US Open, where she played a great match in the final against Sabalenka. She lost it, but showed up and was ready. And next time, watch out. I believe she's going to do even better. So I know this was a longer story. Let me skip. Cannot skip the second one because another one is so great. The second big story is Djokovic. And that one actually brings all of the things we believe in, which is joy, excellence, resilience, and gratitude. All right, so Djokovic has an extremely long history in tennis, and he, in 2008 was it? I think 2008, he became the first, or he became the youngest player to be in all 4 semifinals in the Grand Slams. And this year, at this US Open, at age 38, 17 years later, I hope my math is right. Yes, it is. He again got to the semifinal, making him, and being in all 4 semifinals, or I don't know, this year, or he became basically the oldest players to be in all 4 semifinals. So talk about incredible span of his career. Of course, he also won the most Grand Slams in history. I hope I'm not making a mistake. I believe it's 23. Novak, or all the fans, I'm so sorry if I made a mistake, but I believe that's what it is. It's definitely the most in the history, and the most in the history of men's tennis. I think he is still chasing to be either in front of Margaret Court or to match Margaret Court. So I'm a little fuzzy on that one. But the point is, not only he won so much, he is the winningest player by far in the history of men's tennis, but also the longevity and the commitment to the craft and the resilience and the continuous drive to bring his best, the excellence, the resilience. You know how incredibly taxing professional sports are. And if you don't know it about tennis's season is like 11 months long. It's on 5 continents. They're constantly having to travel, change time zones, be in a different hotels, different surfaces, different everything. If they're very fortunate like Djokovic, they have a team around them. But in many cases, tennis players don't. So this is extremely taxing. Nobody can come in and swap in for him. He needs to be the one who continues showing up, who continue bringing the excellence, the resilience, overcoming injury, overcoming struggles. And to me, this is truly inspiring. Anyhow, thank you. And I will see you guys at the next episode. I hope you have a fantastic end of September, beginning of October. See you soon.